Okay. Oh, we're in Novigrad. Oh, I didn't even remember we were in Novigrad. Right, I knew that. But I think next on our list is we are going to check out Evil's soft first touches. Meet the Master Mirror at midnight at the crossroads beneath the willows. Now, this sounds unbelievably suspicious because, well, there is that, what is it? Myth? Is that the right way to describe it? About, like, the demon of the crossroads or devil of the crossroads or something like that at midnight. I mean, this guy did try to strike a deal with us earlier, and then he made like a mark on our forehead or something like that, so he's clearly not exactly a stand-up gentleman. There's something that's at least somewhat wrong slash evil about him. But what exactly this is going to mean, how exactly it's going to play out, well, we're about to find out. So, that stuff is to the northeast of Novigrad, is it not? Yeah, it's right here in the intro. So I was going to say, there's a chance... Oh, well, I was going to say, there's a chance as soon as we teleport here using our fast travel that it's going to trigger some kind of cutscene, but it does, of course, need to be at midnight. So there's a chance we may not actually be at midnight when that happens. But we do have a fast travel spot right here. So let's hop on over and make it happen. So... I mean, I think we basically prepped and did all the other stuff we were preparing to do beforehand for starting this stuff up. It is, of course, the main quest for the DLC, and like we were saying, there's definitely many other places for us to explore in this northeastern section of... Is technically still considered Greater Novigrad? I don't know. But we'll check that stuff out possibly after this, depending on, of course, what ends up happening here. You know, maybe we'll get abducted or something like that, like we did recently. Okay, and it is 4 p.m., so we definitely do need to meditate to pass some time here. And like I said, I think we have been here before, and this was a place where I'm pretty sure we had a side quest at one point in time, where I thought it was the sort of Little Red Riding Hood type of thing, although that may have been another sort of remote town like this in this general area. Might be mixing them up. But either way, I think we'll probably set up the meditation in order to get this one started. Okay, so let's make it happen. Do we go straight? I mean, we just go straight. Well, actually, before we do this, let's save. Before we trigger whatever is going to end up happening here, let's just play it a little safe, just in case something crazy happens, because I think something crazy is going to happen. I expect that to be the case. Oh, what? Okay. Alright. And we head over here. Oh, our sword is lightning over there. Okay, that may or may not be indicative of what we're going to see here, but one of our swords is a little beat up. It's our silver sword that might be worth just taking a second here to repair, just in case we get thrown straight into the action. Now, how beat up is it? It's on 49%. Yeah, we'll throw 40% repair on it. Not gonna be perfect, but it'll get it up there. Yeah, and what do we have here? Master Mirror. Oh. Ominous sounds, and yes, we do still have that scar on our face there. That's gotta be him, right?
You a soothsayer?
What?
It matters
What you doing up there?
who I am. Your escape, I made it possible. Previously, Yennefer, you found her thanks to me, so you feel you owe me.
Oh, did he really?
Memento you gave me. Pretty effective reminder.
That is its purpose. Incidentally, I find it quite funny how even the most rotten...
Oh, if we go there during the day, it's also
have this
interesting.
inner compunction to repay debts of gratitude. Humans, elves, dwarves, all races. You really must explain that to me one day. As for the here and now, tell me, how'd you manage with your theories?
So... I mean, it was a little strange how he did seemingly kind of refer to all those other races and didn't seem to include himself in any of those categories, even though he appears to be human, but I suspect that he is not. Yeah, does it still work if we try coming back to this spot later on in the daytime? Or now that we've initiated this conversation in the nighttime, is whatever the interesting thing happened, is that no longer possible to experience that? If that is the case, then we may just carry on, but let's see. So, how did we deal with the Ophiris? Now, we did deliberately run away from them and not fight them, because it said it was optional, and I wasn't sure if that meant that, you know, we might have some problems with diplomacy later on if we were to have, you know, slaughtered a band of Ophiris versus if we had spared them. So I deliberately did not do that, or at least did not fight them, at least not all of them. See. Oh yeah, but he's referring to just before that, when there was some kind of storm that basically caused a shipwreck and we escaped. Less so the Ophiris that we fought immediately after that. So we can say that it wasn't him who helped us, it was the storm. I mean, pretty sure he was the one who somehow found a way to cause said storm. I feel more conventional help, or yeah, I think more so this bottom one. Basically, how did he make that happen? Because I'm assuming that it was him.
You appeared out of nowhere, disappeared just as mysteriously, summoned a storm. Let me guess. You're a mage.
Or something like that.
Please, no. I cannot stand spells. Childish hocus pocus. It's just not interesting. What I find fascinating are true tales, true human lives.
Yeah, again, clearly not a human himself.
You now. It's about a man, worse than most. A vulgar, despicable man with a heart of stone. A man who refuses
You don't
to
say.
pay his debts.
Really think this'll interest me? Any reason why?
Because we owe him, and he's going to threaten us to do the same thing to us.
His name is Olgierd von Everich.
Heard the name. Yeah. What old gear do to get on your short list? Oh man. How do you know he wronged me? I mean, did he really wrong us? Oh, I suppose. Okay, this is an interesting question, actually. Because Olgierd, he was the one who technically gave us the contract to defeat the Toad. The Toad was actually the cursed prince of Ophir, and it was that made the Ophiris come after us, capture us, and for that reason, Gaunter here needed to come and save us. So in some ways, that was what started this whole process, was Olgierd telling us to go kill the Toad. Now, did Olgierd know that that was the case of the Toad, or is it just a happy little coincidence? It's just a little misunderstanding is all. Or was that a malicious attempt to get us to get captured, or have us do the dirty work for him when he very much wanted the Prince of Ophir to die for whatever reason? So, I guess in that sense, you could say, if you were feeling cynical about Olgierd's intention, you could say that he did in fact wrong us. Or we could say, on the other hand, that, well, we don't really have anything against him. I think, you know, I don't have a strong opinion yet. I don't have reason to believe one way or the other as to whether Olgierd did intend for bad things to happen to us. So I think we just start off with this one.
What did he do to you?
Before I reveal this, I'd like to make one thing very clear. Olgierd von Everich did willfully and maliciously conspire to cause you to kill a man who might have been cured. Had I not intervened, you would have lost your head for this. Do you know why he did it?
You
Because
say
he's
he
a
did it intentionally,
degenerate
but
monster in human flesh who feeds on the pain and suffering of others.
I don't know. I mean,
You
maybe.
clearly don't like him.
But it
What
sounds
did
like
he
you
do
have
to you?
quite an agenda here.
He
You
and
clearly
I
have something
made
against him.
A pact under which I called on my many talents and associates to give him what he desired. Now the
Okay.
time's come to pay. Yet, he shirks his obligation.
Need me to collect a debt? I'm not some hired muscle.
I mean, we kind of are.
Muscle is not what this requires. It needs a soul intelligent and clever. An individual who fears no dare. Someone like you.
Pure flattery, that.
Yeah, this guy is
After all, I
very
am a
silver
traveling
tongued.
merchant, but make no mistake, I've many interesting wares on offer.
Well, yeah, and then you're gonna try to
Wares like
give us the same
surfeit,
type of deal.
abundance for
And say
the
we owe you
body
big
and
time.
soul. You will lack neither food nor drink. As a witcher, you might desire weapons supreme. I can offer you those you dreamt of. Your body, agile as never before. Your mind, faster than lightning. Romantic prowess to charm all womankind. But above all, I offer a great, true adventure. An experience like no other. The fate of only the chosen few.
Sure sounds generous.
Yeah.
All that for my help with one
Don't
small
trust
matter.
this guy
Won't want
the
anything else from
slightest.
me?
Just one. Honesty.
Alright, buddy. Rather not get involved. Now, what have you done for Olgierd?
What did you do for old Geared? Break him out of a cell too?
In some sense, yes. I remember that day quite well. It was a light drizzle, yet the cold tore right through.
Looks like rain.
Olgierd appeared at the break of dawn, gaunt as a rail, his shirt mothy, seemed to have naught but the sword at his side. It quite pained me to look at him. He asked for help, and help I gave. Made him a rich man, successful, esteemed. He is who he is today, thanks only to me. And yet afterwards,
I mean, we don't know that for
turned his
sure,
back,
but okay.
shunned me, sends me off when I dare ask for payment. Even sicked his hounds on me once. He's thus left me no option but to invoke the terms of our pact.
Oh,
And that is where you come in.
yeah. See, like, the word pact is, that's a loaded word right there. This guy, like I said, the whole demon at the crossroads thing, yeah, you're doing very little to make me doubt that theory. So how much is this debt? What exactly is it? What does he owe you? You say that you gave him a whole lot, but what does he owe you in return for all you say that you've done for him?
How much does he owe you?
Gentlemen, don't discuss coin.
Because
Need
it's
to
not
know the
coin.
details if you want me to get my hands dirty. How much? 1,000,000 crowns? 2 million?
I'm no usurer to lend coin for interest. No. What Olgierd owes me is
Yep.
far more personal than shiny things that clink.
I suspected as much.
Much as I regret it, I can say
Something
no
like his
more.
firstborn son, or
Must
something along
respect
those
his
lines, right?
privacy.
Okay. What happens if we just say we'd rather not get involved? Walk away. It's like, okay, yep, DLC over. See you later. Nah. What do we have to do?
What about you? Call yourself a man of many talents? Can't you take care of this?
Therein lies the catch. Our pact states that before I can collect my due, I must yet fulfill 3 wishes for Von Everett.
Okay, and you've only done
I
2?
cannot fulfill them myself directly, making use instead of a... how shall I put it? A proxy.
An agent. To act on your
So
behalf.
what he needs a sucker.
What I need is an ally. And something tells me I shall find none better than you.
What do you expect me to do?
To start with, join me in paying Von Everett a visit. Then, well, then we shall improvise. I believe, however, that all will end well. And once it does,
Hear you now.
we 3 shall meet and thank one another for the voyage we shared.
Right.
I'm not so
Specifics
sure
now.
about that.
Thought Olgierd had 3 wishes, requests, whatever.
He does. He may ask 3 things of us, yet we won't know what they are until we see him.
Okay. Do not like this at all. I mean, that is true. But at the same time, you have intrigued me. This could be quite an interesting game you aim to play. Not about to... I mean, so I want to see what it's all about, but of course, obviously, this guy is just nothing but trouble. So clearly nothing but trouble, but at the same time, like, that's what we're here for, right? It's alright, so be it.
Fine. I'll go see Olgierd with you, but no promises.
That is all I ask.
Now remove the damn mark.
Naturally. Just as soon
Yeah,
as you
not
complete your
yet.
task. Go. You will not regret it. We shall meet there. I have a matter to attend to along the way.
Another
you
debt to
now?
collect.
You could say that.
Perhaps.
Guy's gonna like disappear in a puff of smoke or something. He's just gone. 108 experience is strange. Strange amount. I was kind of expecting like 66 or eventually 666. Okay, so you guys were saying it's interesting to check this place out during the day, and that is still possible to do. So like if we meditate now and just go right back here, can we still make that happen? Is that still a possibility? Or has that opportunity come and gone at this point? It does still work? Okay, let's try that then. I mean, we'll just meditate till noon, I guess, assuming that it doesn't matter what specific time of day it is, as long as it's day. Okay, the kids. Hello? Like this exact spot?
A wolf ate my grain.
Oh. About that.
Mum! I don't know you. Go away. My mum don't let me talk to strangers.
Wait a bit.
His smile
Okay.
fair as spring, as towards him he draws you. His tongue sharp and silvery as he implores you. Your wishes he grants as he swears to adore you. Gold, silver, jewels, he lays riches before you. Dues need be repaid, and he will come for you. All to reclaim, no smile to console you. He'll snare you in bonds, eyes glowing a fire, to gore and torment you till the stars expire.
Okay, that was extremely unnerving. Totally creepy. Obviously a reference to the guy we were just speaking to, and yes, like I said, perhaps just further reinforces that this guy is no good. And we are going to be in deep very, very soon, if not already. But I think, you know, in this DLC, we're gonna go along with it. That I think is in many ways going to be the general idea. Now, my question is, I was talking about how we wanted to get going a bit on the main quest for the DLC to see what it's all about. And I think we're certainly starting to get that sense. But at some point, we do want to start going around and exploring more thoroughly, checking out all these question marks and completing them. Just not sure exactly when the best time to do that might be. But, I mean, because the main quest is going to continue to give us, I think, this building sense of momentum as it starts to build more and more tension, and it's already starting to pick up a lot. So I wonder if, yeah, it's going to be hard to tear ourselves away from that a bit. So part of me feels like it might be best to maybe now just take a little bit of time to say, look at these question marks around here, and oh, did we really not finish this hidden treasure? Really? We went over there recently, did we not? Huh. I mean, either way, this is probably still the closest fast travel spot to where we're looking to go, but I'm just trying to find good times for us to tear ourselves away from the main quest to start exploring other things, because I think it's going to be really tempting as soon as we start getting into the main quest further to just go, oh man, this is exciting, let's keep on going. And, you know, suddenly we're going to have finished the entire main quest, and then we're going to just look at our map and go, oh, we're done with that. Now it's just exploration and nothing else, which might feel a little bit strange if, you know, we're not finishing with the final component of the main quest, but maybe we can, you know, play that by ear a little bit and just see if and when there are other good times to make that happen. What's up, Honor? How's it going? Honor, have you played The Witcher? Let's see, so I think we do at least do a little bit of this stuff here. Let's at least mark this question mark here. Maybe this will be the only one we do right now, but like I said, I'm wary of leaving ourselves with a huge wall of question marks to do as our last thing, and then I feel like that's going to be a little bit disruptive. Either that, or it's just going to feel strange to finish on something that's not as climactic as what would presumably be the most climactic part, the end of the main quest of this DLC. There are enemies around here. Those Neckers? Sounds like at least some of them are. Yeah, level 34 Neckers. Okay. So there's no joke. As Neckers go. Whoa, that's a big Necker. Doesn't look like it. Who's next? Is that it? This might have actually just been random Neckers. I had assumed they were going to be affiliated with a monster's nest around here. Here's something bigger. I hear one over here. You've not played it, but you've seen walkthroughs before. He did not have her shield on. That was a little bit silly. But just one of them. We should be able to take it out. It's really... They're most dangerous in numbers, where they can swarm us. Like, what is that? That sounds like this is going to be a big golem dude. Going to be guarding some treasure over here, and I think that's going to be the thing that we've marked. Something clearing? Yeah. Maybe even an Ifrit? Golem. Okay. So let's prep ourselves here, because this could be a tricky fight. So it's a golem, so that means we want to put on an Elementa oil for increased damage against them. Let's see, that's this one. 50% increased damage, that's definitely going to be useful. And we're just going to want to absolutely shield up here, because this guy's going to hit us very hard. Okay, shield back on, please. Yeah, sure. Block us from... Oh. Trying to run around the opposite side so he couldn't block us, and he just went, how about no? Okay, come hither. What level is he? 37. Oh, wow. This might actually be one of the highest level enemies we've ever fought. Because most of the previous enemies we fought have been in and around 34. And we are, what, 35 right now, I think? So this guy is a higher level than us. What is technically supposed to be the preferred signs against the golems? I don't remember. I think it is Quen, at least to a certain extent. But there's a Yurden. I was curious to see how effective that might be. Well, it did seem decent until I kind of kited him outside of it, and then, you know, he didn't slow down right as he was about to hit us, which was probably not the best of timing. Yeah, our damage here is not great, which is a little alarming. I mean, like I said, obviously he's a pretty high level enemy compared to what we've had in the past, but... Okay, he's no longer slowed. Do we need a Quent? We do. Or no, we didn't. We didn't. But... Okay, I think the objective here is just play this slowly. Try to be patient. This guy's gonna... He's capable of dealing a ton of damage to us. If he does hit us... Okay, well, I rolled into that. But we did have the Quent on, so we had our shield. Let's get it back. And... What's an Ard like for you? What are we doing there? Stamina bag! For this, staggering you a bit, does make it so we can get a few hits in. Okay, sure. What if we do that while you're trying to shield? Didn't do much. Did not do much. Can you come back in our slowy circle, please? That would be lovely. Let's make another one when we can. Okay, and ideally not lose our shield to that. Now we need to prioritize that. Whoa, slow down, buddy old pal. Okay, we only have one more of these slowing explosions, so I think we want to be mindful of when we use that, because that is a good way to set ourselves up for some more damage. Okay, slow you down in here. I'd like to whirl at some point. Just trying to find a good time to make it happen. And this was going to be it. But you went for the big slam, and probably still should have followed up with more, but... Or the whirl. That's our quickest combo, for sure. Like, I'm just looking at how much damage we're dealing, and it's quite low. We deal... Oh, we actually can still deal damage when he's blocking like that. I assumed that it was going to do nothing, but I was pleasantly surprised. Rolling behind him was not enough to avoid taking the damage there. Okay, our slowy circle is gone. Let's try getting another one if we can. We need some salmon back first. We can do it. Please take one step forward. Oh, come on. He's like, absolutely not, Liz. How dare you even suggest such a thing? Like, even if you're doing that, whoa, okay, well, that time was just me. On roughly half HP here. Woo! Okay, now he steps into the urn. Now he's slowed. Yeah, see, we're still dealing actually surprising amounts of damage even when he's blocking, so that's not bad, to tell you the truth. Okay, every time I want to do the whirl, he does the big slam and jam. Okay, this is the big combo. Shield back on. I'd prefer to actually fight you in this circle. You could please come back. I mean, I assume it's this body right here is the thing that he's technically guarding. There's going to be something nice here. Okay, avoid that. Well, or at least try to. Okay, doesn't matter if he's blocking. It's not really... That time we did avoid the damage. That time we did as well, which means we don't have to re-shield, which means we can be a little more aggressive with our attacks. And yeah, even if you're blocking, we can deal a reasonable amount of damage, actually. Okay, this is a big combo. Yep, you did hit us, but we had the shield on, so we're good. Just need to reapply. I'd like to get the urine has seemed pretty effective. We also probably need to throw our potion back on, or our oil. Yeah, it has expired. Where is it? Here. Reapply. All right, buddy. Bring it on. Oh, the perfect timing for the whirl! The perfect timing for the whirl! Reapply the shield. Oh, we did not have it on yet. Did not quite have the stamina back to make it happen. But he is very low now. I think we probably go for the explosive and try to follow up with the finishing blow here. Whirl gets the job done. Tough fight. But we were patient, and ultimately I think that was the difference maker there. Greater runestone, other good crafting items, and then this is the stuff you were blocking. Couple of, well, one greater runestone, one greater glyph. What is this? Journal? I don't know if we know about this one yet. Notebook documenting research undertaken by the dissertation on the workings and construction of golems based on the work of Master Alzer. I recognize that name, I think. Written by Igor Desade, student of the Banard Academy. Only a portion of the notes have survived. Day 134. I don't think we've read this. Came across the remains of a destroyed golem in the swamps outside Vizima. Words cannot describe the rage that overcame me. The brickmakers who keep a settlement nearby told me this act of vandalism was perpetrated by some white-haired witcher. I was gonna say, this sounds very familiar. This sounds a lot like The Witcher 1. I'd heard the members of that guild were vile, well, yeah. But to stoop to that, the idea struck me that I might find something of a use in Oxenford Academy, or in the Oxenford Archive Academy. I managed with great difficulty to cross the Pontar. Once in Oxenford, I met with an unpleasant surprise. The academy has been closed. Luckily, I was able to gain entry thanks to the help of a professor acquaintance of mine. Thank you, Slavoid. Don't think we know that name. I thus was able to dig out a few dust-covered beauties and Eureka! Near the village of Heddle, there's a tower which, purportedly, once served as a workshop. It's none other than the Master Alzer himself. Heddle sounds really familiar. I think we have been there. I made it to the tower. Is this tower on Skellige? Because there was a golem there. It's inhabited. Rather eccentric gentleman has made it a roost of his for his flock of harpies. Now this sounds Witcher 2 with all the harpies, but I don't know. I saw him feed their chicks pork. Inconceivable! But let's return to our core concern. The tower which this looms has turned into a harpy nest truly might have once been Elzer's workshop. That means this might be the very place where he concluded his research into golems. It's here, standing motionless in the stone circle. Local peasants think it's merely a strangely formed boulder, but then again, how could such bumpkins ever guess that they passed a masterpiece of magic construction on their way to feed their chickens? I've already fastened a lightning conductor. Oh, this reminds me. Okay, we did use a lightning conductor in The Witcher 1. Yeah. It's a shame there are no druids nearby. If I hadn't slept through my course on meteorological magic, I'd summon a storm myself, but as it is, I can but wait, patiently, or otherwise. Been sitting on these cold stones, waiting for a change of the weather. So long, my bowels have almost frozen. But it's finally here. I must stop writing now, for drops are falling on my notebook, and smearing my notes. First rumblings of thunder sound in the distance. I cannot contain my excitement. Soon the golem shall live again. Well, you saw how this played out. Ah, okay. So there are some other quests that will end up taking us towards some of these things. Okay, so that's good to know. Maybe we don't need to spend too much time in that case focusing on doing exploration at this stage. I'm curious what level these wolves are. If they're level 5, then that's obviously not a huge deal. But yeah, like if they're in the 30s, that means they are worth some experience here. But there are a bunch of them, and that's actually a little concerning here. Because they could swarm us and become a bit of a threat. Fortunately, yeah, I don't think they have a lot of HP. That will help. One down. 2, 3 down. That might have been it. And are these probably just the remains of the animals? Yeah, like the rabbits that they were hunting. There you are. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll head back in that case to the main quest here. Because yeah, that's good to know that we probably won't need to focus too much on going out of our way to check out the question marks. There are other quests that will end up sending us in that direction. That's good to know. So, yeah, we're headed to the, I assume, we have our main quest active here. Yeah, go see Olgerd. Olgerd. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Remember when he said that Olgerd had a debt he had to pay? And that, well, he was not so pleased about that? I get the sense this is what happens when people don't pay their debts to this guy. I get that type of feeling. You know, may have something to do with how he made that mark on our face that may or may not be like a Harry Potter whenever you're close to some type of stuff that burns and becomes very painful type of situation. But this guy, he's no good. He is clearly no good. But anyways, now I think we investigate further. Also, we should save. We should definitely save. Usually watch me on ×2 speed, now I'm in slow-mo. That is strange. I actually, on YouTube, I always watch on ×2 speed as well, but I don't have a good sense as to, like, I imagine that I'm very much the exception, or the outlier in that sense. But yeah, it is strange then, like, if I'm used to watching people in ×2 speed on YouTube, and then I see them on stream, or for some reason do end up just watching them in normal speed, then yeah, it sounds pretty silly. The same way, sometimes you'll hear people saying, like, oh, just change it to 0.5 speed, and it sounds hilarious. It's like, well, in some ways, it's very similar. Yeah. You guys are surprisingly calm for, you know, this place being on fire. You don't seem to care, which is just a little strange. Yeah. Alright.
Well, look who's here. The witcher with a stick up his ass. What's new? Got a growth on your platter there. You catch some kind of a fiery pox?
Could say so. Manners
So you knew the
burning.
whole period were gonna come after us?
That? Alright. You know how it is. Feast drags on with plenty of dancing, merrymaking, rough play. We got a bit carried away, truth be told.
Plain to see. Where's Olgierd?
Damned
Is
if
that really
I
how this
know.
happened?
Must be somewhere hereabouts.
No! Please! I beg you!
Shut your trap.
Let me
Let's go. I was gonna say what's going on here. I think we know what's going on here.
I ate with you!
This doesn't look good.
Drank with you! Fought beside you! And you'd kill me now?
Well, if
Yes!
You might have been.
you are easily queasy, might be a time to look away.
What's he guilty of?
What the fuck's it to you? Not your concern, mate.
I mean, these guys, they hate us. So I feel like just about anything we say, they're gonna be like, well, we don't care, we're just gonna lop this guy's head off. So I feel like if we try to go all moral high ground on them, they're just gonna completely ignore us, but maybe we can tell them. I don't know which one of these is any more likely to actually work.
Whoa, nerves a little raw? Why?
You deaf! Get the fuck out of here, freak!
All I want is to know what exactly is going on here.
Well, you're not gonna know. Sod off.
I'll leave as soon as you tell me.
Aren't you a thorny prick up the arse? Ataman said to kill him!
Got your answer. Happy? Now piss off. We've work to do.
Adaman said to kill him. Adaman is not Olgierd, I don't think. Olgierd von Everett. I don't know if his like middle name is Adaman or something. So I'm not sure who this guy is. No need to be edgy. Let's see. Let him go face my wrath. The rage of Geralt of Rivia. Do what you will, not my concern. I mean, this one, obviously, it may be the most likely to have them not decapitate this guy, but it's definitely ending in a fight. Whereas this one feels a little bit higher risk, higher reward, if you will, and that there's perhaps a chance that we can actually talk this out, avoid having anyone die, but also perhaps has the greatest chance of them being like, well, we don't care what you have to say, Witcher. And then they just kill him anyway. Let's give it a shot, though.
Wait, I know Olgierd wants him dead. Still don't
Oh,
know
it's a
why,
title.
though.
Okay.
Just what the fuck is it to you, anyhow?
Nothing really. Just curious.
Cocksucker violated our chivalric code. Just one penalty for that. Death.
Well, there's Olgierd.
What is this row? Are you not done with it? My ears wither from the screams.
Yup, there he goes.
Ah, Geralt. As you've returned, might I assume you've cleared the sewers? Or have you not been
You
there?
killed my father!
Oh!
Not I.
You lie, whoreson!
That man killed him.
He's got a sword sticking through his chest right now.
Unbeknownst to me.
He doesn't seem to be bothered.
Out of fury, for your father refused us hospitality. For this willful violation of the chivalry code, he was summarily executed himself. Anything else I might do for you? Take her away.
Wasn't that his daughter or sister or something? Also, he still has a sword in his chest.
Now, where were we?
Right. Where were we? Carol's just staring at him. What just happened? So that guy appears to be immortal,
That whole show.
or something like that.
Show? Come now. A man must display some madness from time to time. Helps him feel alive. Dare say you know what I mean. Judging by the mark on your face.
Yeah, so this was my first impression. Was that it? That was an awfully long time to have a sword sticking directly through your chest. And no signs of pain. Other guy just immediately, or well, not immediately, but did pull it out and then was kind of looking to see if, he winced at all or if there's any, like, sign of permanent damage there. And it kind of just looked like he was totally fine. So this is definitely the impression I get. And if that is the case, then it does also make me wonder, is it only you, or are your friends also immortal for the same reason you somehow became immortal? And I do wonder if that was maybe part of your deal with Gaunter.
Depends on your understanding of the term. Indeed, I cannot be killed.
Okay.
But it's not at all what folk imagine. Not dying does not mean eternally living your life to the full.
So it's a curse.
A curse? No, wouldn't call it that. I'll put it this way. You must be careful what you wish for, lest your wish be granted. For there are consequences.
Yep, he made a wish,
Not sure I follow.
and then he got it.
You know very little.
From Gaunter, I think.
So you take wild risks, chase extreme sensations. There comes a point you've done it all, and all seems boring and monotonous. The trick's to plough through that moment, go further, reach beyond what's known as possible.
Go push greater, beyond! Okay, so this guy, yeah, we got a sense that something strange he had something strange going on with him, because when we were first here, his friends were looking up to him like a god. It wasn't obvious why, other than just that he was their leader, but it was not the typical, like, oh, he's our boss type of situation. It was like the, all right, everybody bow down and pray to him type of situation, which was very strange. And, if he's immortal, then would certainly get a bit of a god complex that way, and actually have people, you could probably convince some people, look up to you as a god of some sort. But that, again, raises the question as to whether the other people here are in the same situation, or if it is just this guy, Olgierd. So he also did recognize, or at least made some indirect mention of our Mark, and because Gaunter was saying that he made a deal with this guy, that's how I suspect he became immortal. Gaunter said he asked for basically, like, fame and money and property and whatnot, but, if you're imagining all the various vain things that you could request if you were to have 3 wishes from a genie, which seems like kind of the situation that this guy had, then, eternal life is usually pretty high on that list, so I imagine he said something like that, and now he's saying that, well, he's gotten that, and while it may not technically be a curse, so to speak, now after chasing all these extreme experiences, doesn't feel like there's much left for him to do.
You know what this is?
I cannot be certain, but I've my suspicions. That's a dangerous man you've chosen to deal with, Witcher.
Yep. You say man. I'm not convinced he's a man, though. But we did, in fact, go down into the sewers and take out that frog, or should I say prince, that you asked us to slay.
Killed the beast in the sewers.
Congratulations are in order, then. Your reward. You're also welcome to take what you wish from the manor house. If anything left uncharred, that is.
Yeah, I mean, it is now currently burnt to shreds.
Was it a tough fight?
I sliced its gut open, and it turned into a man.
It was actually a really tough fight.
You know that would
One of the
happen.
hardest bosses we've had thus far.
Of course he did. He'd never have dragged you into
There
the
he
same
is.
Gaunter did. Come to cast aspersions.
No. I've come to collect a debt.
You know you first must...
Grant you 3 requests by proxy. I present to you my champion, Geralt of Rivia.
Oh, we said we'd tag along. We did not necessarily say that we agreed to doing this yet. Could potentially go that route. Or... yeah, I mean, it seems, at least Gaunter here was suggesting that Olgierd knew all along that the Toad was actually a prince. Just a matter of whether or not we take Gaunter's word for it, which I'm, certainly hesitant to do, because, like I said, both these guys are not exactly the most trustworthy of people. So, I think maybe we just say, we didn't necessarily say that we were in on this deal just yet. We just said we were gonna check it out, see what this was all about.
Not so fast. Haven't agreed to anything yet.
And he's gonna say, oh, but you have.
Of that I'm certain. Did you know Olgierd was the one to turn the Ophiri prince into a toad?
Is that so?
Did he not mention that bit? Well then, allow me to tell it. Quite a gripping story. Olgierd.
Curious if
once
Olgierd
loved
will
a
refute this
beautiful
story at all.
maiden named Iris. Yet, her parents chose to offer her hand to the crown prince of Ophir. Olgierd grew to hate the poor sot. At first, he wished to kill him, then decided this would be too simple. So, instead, he condemned the prince to a base life in a toad's bloated corpus. Yet he grew bored of watching him suffer and decided to end it. By your hand.
Remind me, Odin. Who is to fulfill my last 3 requests?
My assistant, Geralt.
Then be gone. I don't wish to look at your face any longer than I must.
Clearly quite a history between these two. Flourish.
Come,
Where to?
the stables. My men are preparing to depart.
Are the stables still standing? Also, there was that whole question of us taking something from, your mansion. Yes, it all is currently being burned to ash, but I thought maybe before that truthfully becomes the case, perhaps we might find something if we hurry.